Welcome back everybody to World of Warships beta, closed beta. My name is Maxwell. I thought I'd share with you a little bit of a nail-biting game I played very recently. It was exciting, came right down to the wire, and I think you guys are going to appreciate it. And secondly, I wanted to make this video dead quick for the beta key giveaway. My original plan had been to allow the comments to come in over the weekend, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and then announce the winners on Monday. But then I realised this morning that that could technically, well, not technically, that could be a little bit unfair, considering that some of you guys maybe have jobs to go to Monday to Friday and they're therefore unable to play much during the week. So I've decided that we've had over 200 comments so far. I think that's more than enough. So I'm going to draw the competition right now, and it'll give you guys a chance to play for the rest of Saturday and for Sunday. So, in no particular order, here are the 5 winners of the World of Warships closed beta key. I'll message you directly on YouTube, so if your name is mentioned, keep an eye out on your inbox. If I call your name and you don't seem to be able to find your YouTube inbox, then message me. And contact me somehow, either in comments or Twitter or whatnot, and I will do my best to get the key to you in another way. So, the winners, again in no particular order of the 5 keys, are first and foremost Dead Wizard. That is Dead Wizard, congratulations to you. Next is Mr. Cybermutt. That is Mr. Cybermutt. Next is, I'm going to apologise if I pronounce some of these wrong, because some of these are foreign names and I'm terrible at pronouncing things. The next one is Silvio Crow. That is Silvio Crow, spelled S-I-L-V-I-O-C-R-O. Next is Ali Stein. That is Ali Stein. And last but not least is Johnny Scott. That is Johnny Scott. So I'll message you guys on YouTube and give you your beta key and how to redeem it. Now obviously I wasn't just given 5 beta keys from Wargaming, but I have used some of them for other purposes. I do have 2 remaining after this, so my plan to give those away are I'm going to give them away on Twitter. So what you guys can do is there will be a tweet going out for this video here. All I need you to do to be in with a chance of winning one of those last 2 keys is be a follower of mine on Twitter and retweet the tweet for this video. Dead simple. So be a follower of mine on Twitter and retweet this video. And 2 lucky people will win World of Warships closed beta keys. Again, I'll draw that tonight to give you guys a chance to play Saturday night and Sunday daytime before it becomes midweek again. So, onto the video at hand. I am driving, piloting, driving, sailing, one of those. The Tier 2, what is that? It's a Chikuma. It's a Japanese Tier 2 cruiser. It's fully upgraded, so it has lots and lots and lots of cannons, as you can see. It's got how many is that? I think it's got 8 guns. Obviously, not all of them can face the target at once, though, but it does have 8 guns. Now, I was experimenting with different shell types here, so you can see me, I'm going to be using AP for the full battle. That is a mistake. The way AP works is you only really want to fire it at vessels that are pretty much your equal. So, when I'm firing here at these cruisers, that is correct, but what can tend to happen with the AP shells is there is overmatching in the game. So if you overmatch someone's armor ridiculously with your shells, they'll just pass directly through the hull without really causing too much damage. So the idea is for heavily armored targets to use your AP shells, and for more lightly armored targets use your high explosive shells. So we annihilate that guy quickly. You can see most of us are bunching up in this top right hand corner. I think that was the plan, was to bunch up and take out these guys as quickly as possible. Finding it a little bit difficult to find where the guy was because of the smoke there, so I fire one quick shot as a tracer. As you can see, those shots come in down on the top of his deck, so they cause a hell of a lot of damage, them being AP. And I'm trying to predict where he's going. I don't have that much luck with firing in this battle until about sort of the second half, when I really start to zero in on people. Although I do still make some mistakes, but then again, this is probably only my 5th or 6th battle. I am doing okay though. Still remain undefeated, which is great. So we've won the top right hand corner, which is fantastic. We're winning 5-2. And my plan is now just to swing around south, try and cut around the enemy. They've got a lot of destroyers, as you can see, and these destroyers, as you're about to see as this replay goes on, are really, really annoying to try and hit because they are so fast. What I should have done now, that their cruiser contingent was pretty much dealt with, is switch to high explosive ammunition. But like I said, I wasn't 100% sure how the different ammunition types work, so this was just experimentation. Well, that's what beta's for, experimentation and finding bugs, of which I haven't really had any. I've had a couple of freeze on exit bugs, where the game freezes and you've got to control alt and delete it while you're exiting, but apart from that I haven't seen any other bugs whatsoever. So I tend to use autopilot a lot, because I just think that's the easiest thing to do. If you use autopilot, you don't have to worry about where you're driving, unless you are getting torpedoed, which you will see in a bit. There is just going to be an ocean full of torpedoes. So I decide that most of the destroyers are going to be over on the right-hand side, so I'm going to cut less of a wide route around. I was going to cut all the way down to south and loop back up, but that's going to take way too long, and I'll probably be too late to the battle. As you can see, their destroyers are just mopping everybody else up here, as they've evened up the score nicely at 5 kills to 4. So I'm going to cut in here and come in with the rest of our cruisers. I am lagging behind, but then that's the kind of the position that I like to be in, especially when I've got 8 guns, which is 5 of them that I can bring to bear on a single target at once. That guy's just slightly behind the mountain there. I'm still going to fire off some speculative shots, even though these destroyers, you can see that they can change direction and change speed so quickly that it's really, really hard to land good shots on them. I just decided to terraform that mountain there. Not really sure what I was thinking. Even that last shot misses. Reload on this one's a little bit longer than previous ships, but the shells do a hell of a lot more damage. Would have done even more if I'd switched to the correct ammunition type. As you can see, I'm only getting 300 to 400 points of damage per hit, and that's just because the shells overmatch the armor so strongly that the shells just go directly through. Although I am able to take that one out.
Enemy destroyer foundered.
And we can switch attention now. You can see all of us kind of maneuvering into a big line. Try and take these guys on head on. And it looks like this destroyer here is coming straight at us. And obviously fires off the smoke screen. Well, still going to fire off into nothingness to try and hit him. See, he's on fire and taking a hell of a lot of damage. Going to try and predict his movement. Again, going to fire blind, just in case. And I do manage to hit him, which is nice, I think. But enemy team doing a great job here. They've evened up the score completely at 6 to 6. There is a cruiser coming in. They're much easier to hit than the destroyers. As you can see, I keep coming out to sniper mode here, and the reason I'm doing that is just to keep an eye on the torpedoes, because they've got 4 destroyers left. There will be a lot of torpedoes in the water, or at least there's the potential of there being a lot of torpedoes in the water. So I've just got to keep an eye to make sure that I'm not going to run into any of those, and that's something that you really need to be aware of. Their cruiser falls, and their last 4 destroyers are all grouped up, 3 going in one direction, 2 going in the other. 3 going to the right and 1 going to the left. I'm going to try and focus in on this one going to the left because he's turned, but as you can see, turns on a sixpence there. The destroyer, and takes off at such speed. He's out in the open now, but I think this is probably, you see again, changes his speed and changes his direction so quickly. Those shots aren't going to land. So I decide to switch up to the north. Really, with these destroyers, they're so difficult to tackle from a distance like this. You really need to get in close, but the double-edged sword of that is when you are in close with the destroyers, they just fill the water with torpedoes, and there's almost nothing you can do, and you pretty much just get blown to pieces, as torpedoes do so much damage. I'm going to try and lead this target, but he stops dead, and my shots just land in the water ineffectually. See, he stops to fire off some torpedoes and then goes to get moving again, but gets blown to pieces. So at least we're pulling this one back at 9 to 7 now. I am the furthest south ship of our armada. So I'm going to try and cut to the right here. Those torpedoes should in no way whatsoever bother me. So I'm going to try and cut in here and just kind of be the last, well, not the last line of defense, but I'm kind of going to be the warden of the south. So anybody who tries to break out from the battle of the guys in the north is going to have to try and get past me. And I'm going to try and hem them in. Each one of those shots misses, so just just undercooked that a little bit. Try and have a shot here. I know all these shots are going to land on the mountain, but you never know. One or two might sneak over and do some damage. So, second destroyer heads around the northern peninsula. I should have a better idea of how to land shots on this one, considering I just missed his friend, but nope. All of them miss as well, and he gets behind the mountain. So I've got to be aware that I'm going to have some destroyers coming around behind me any moment now. Although it looks like he is spinning around. I'm going to try and hit him dead on, but I think I've way undercooked that one. I was expecting him to turn a lot sooner than he did, and he's going to take off at speed. You can see the maneuverability of these destroyers is just silly. They're able to just change direction and change speed so quickly, and all of these shots just miss. I'm having a terrible mid-game here. You can see these destroyers doing a great job of just picking off individual ships by ganging up on them. You can see we've got two destroyers in the north here squaring off against one of our destroyers. I'm trying to lay some fire in, but I'm just having a terrible time trying to hit the moment. And that said, props to the enemy team. They're doing a fantastic job of picking us off one by one as we're so spread out. And as you can see, they've evened it up completely now at 9 kills to 9. I've got to try and have a blind shot, because those two destroyers are now going to have the run of the right-hand flank. And there's basically myself, one other cruiser, and a destroyer on our team left. This destroyer decides to make a break for it. Maybe he didn't know that I was here. He's going to try and make a break for it across the way. I managed to just damage one of his guns. And again, I should have switched high explosive here, and I probably could have taken him out in 2 volleys, rather than doing just the little bits of damage that I did. Predicted that one a little bit too far. Didn't realise how close he was. You see he's just under 3 kilometers. He stops dead. I think he's probably trying to fire some torpedoes, so that's my opportunity to just pound him. And as you can see, I come out of sniper mode to try and decide where the torpedoes are. I hit myself up to full speed and start turning to the right in an effort to try and kick my back end out so the torpedoes miss. I've got to go in for sniper mode here, and the torpedoes do miss, but our other cruiser takes the full brunt of the fire in the face. Enemy destroyer is being chased by torpedoes now. I'm in pretty close, so I should be able to get this guy. I do indeed take him out. Nicely keep the game even. We've got another destroyer coming in from the right-hand side here. So I'm going to try and land shots on him. Some of them just go over his head. Got to keep avoiding the torpedoes here. Thread the needle between them. Looks like they are going to miss as well, but we have another destroyer just to the right of this guy. Just got to be aware that they could be putting torpedoes in the water. Really, I should have switched targets here. That's a mistake on my part. Should have switched targets to the more lightly damaged destroyer to take him out, but wouldn't have been able to because he fades away in the smoke screen. Both of them firing off smoke screens now. So my idea is I'm just going to steam full speed towards them. I've got 15,000 hit points left, so I'm going to try and soak up some of the damage and just try and pound these guys. Just get in close so they can't get away. And as you see, I think I might have hit his ammo rack there, if there is such a thing, or maybe I had a good AP penetration value. So I got the full amount of damage. So obviously AP, if you penetrate, you do your full amount of damage, rather than HE, where you just do some damage regardless. So now we're going to play the waiting game. Luckily, both of our vessels are in the cap circle, so that really is going to allow... Well, it's going to mean that the enemy destroyer has to come to us. I come to a full stop and then start to reverse a little bit. He is a tier 3. So if he plays his cards right, he could take us to pieces. You see our destroyer just firing off some torpedoes, because you never know. I've just got to be aware that I don't reverse into any of them. His torpedoes come in from the right hand side. Just making sure I've not got any torpedoes coming in. So you can see his torpedoes coming from the right hand side. That's obviously where he is. I'm going to make a turn and then go full ahead. We're both in the cap circle, so luckily didn't reverse into my allies' torpedoes there. And there he is. He shows up on the right hand side. Going to focus this one, and he's moving at some speed. So this is going to be a hell of a shot if it lands. It does land. I get one little bit of damage, and I'm just going to reload. Our destroyer has a shot as well, but that's not quite good enough. I've got him zeroed in now thanks to the first shot landing, so it's just going to be a case of pound him, hit him, take him out, and that's GG and the victory. So came right down to the wire there. Two of us left one of them. I managed to pick up 44 hits, 4 kills, and did pretty damn good there. Completed 2 missions as well. If we have a look at the team score, I did manage to come second in a tier 2 and a tier 3 game. That's not too bad. Enemy team did a fantastic job, though, of whittling us down at the end. So that's going to be it for this look. Another look at World of Warships. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, because there's going to be a lot more content like this on this channel. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter and retweet the tweet for this video to be in with a chance of winning another World of Warships closed beta invite key. So I've been Maxwell, this has been World of Warships closed beta, and I'll catch you guys next time.